So the Indian contingent in the athletes parade in the opening ceremony will have 78 athletes and officials from 12 disciplines whose teams are currently present in France. Indian Olympic Association's president Dr. P.T. Usha and chef de mission Gagan Narang have given top priority to the athletes in the composition of the contingent in the athletes parade. All the athletes who made themselves available will be a part of the parade, and many have competitions on Saturday, and the Indian Olympic Association, they've been respectful of their decision to prioritize preparation and not taking part in the opening ceremony. PV Sindhu and Sharat Kamal will be the flag bearers of tonight's opening ceremony. And now to bring us the latest from Ground Zero, I am joined by DD India correspondent straight from France, Paris, where the opening ceremony will be taking place. Narayan Singh joins us, and we also have with us Mr. Malay Nirav, who's the esteemed guest of tonight, the expert who would be giving us expert analysis and talking about today's opening ceremony, the grand opening ceremony of Paris Olympics. So let's have both of them together with us on this show. Narayan and Mr. Malay Nirav, both of us joins us. First of all, Narayan, coming on to you. How are the preparations going on, and what are going to be the star attractions for tonight? We know that there was a security concern, but having considered that, we heard the IOC president also who says that stage is all set.
Stage is set for the coveted games in Paris, and it's the 33rd edition, and Paris is hosting the games for the third time, and exactly 100 years ago, they hosted the Games in 1924, and it's, we can say that a centenary of the Olympic Games for Paris. And all in all, Paris is ready to host the Games. Everything is in place. If we talk about the opening ceremony, will take place at the Seine River. We know that it will start from the bridge Altres and will be at near the Eiffel Tower, where the final protocols will take place. And all in all, it's a different thing. First time it is happening on the bank of a river, as we mentioned in our report also. First time in the history of the Olympics, the ceremony will take place outside the stadium. So it's the opening ceremony of the several first outside the stadium, and secondly on a river bank, and third, it will have the more spectators than the previous edition of the Olympics, because it will take place in the complex near the Seine River, and because of that, people can go and visit there. But the security measures are very high considering the threats, and we know that it's an important event, and delegates and state heads of many countries will be there. So all in all, preparations are ready, and Indian's contingent of 117 members is also ready to shine at the coveted games in Paris.
I would now like to go across Mr. Malay Nirav. Sir, when we talk about tonight's show, the grand opening ceremony, many records have been created, and Paris is trying to do something different this time. Seine River is just one example. If we talk about the security also, India is also putting its best foot forward. How would you analyze and how would you rate this entire preparation, and also the initiative somewhere to make it even greener when we compare to the previous editions of Olympics that has taken place so far? Mr. Nirav.
Look, the Olympic movement itself, when it was started, ever since it has existed on this earth, has carried a very strong message of peace, harmony, tranquility, brotherhood, and that message needs to be given to the people of this world as strongly as possible. Now, there's a paradox here. First, you are taking the Olympic opening ceremony out of the stadium. Second, this is one of those Olympics where they're saying there's a lot of security threat. So what is the world going to get in terms of a message from the organizers of the Olympic? That when it comes to Olympic Games, it does not believe in dividing people. It believes in bringing them together. And it is a forward-looking movement. So it is one of the greenest Olympics that we have ever had. Now, if you look at the whole picture which emerges tonight, about which we have all been hearing and listening, now, the best thing that comes to my mind is that the Olympic movement is true to its charter, has changed, amended its constitution, brought in new things together, and now you see here a kind of a sea, an ocean of sports persons and people from different parts of the world getting together at one of the most beautiful sights that I have seen in my lifetime. I have covered all the Olympics from 1992 till the last one, and this one I'm watching from here. I'm not there in Paris, but Champs-Élysées, Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral, you know, every building on that 6-kilometer long walk is a monument in itself. And each of these monuments reinforce the message of the Olympic. And this is the best part of Paris Olympics, where people from the sports persons, the people whom I regard as those who instill the Fevicol effect.
Indeed.
Join the people together.
Indeed.
They are on the streets.
Right.
To say we are one.
And that is what the Olympic Charter also aims at. Narayan, coming on to you, 117 strong Indian contingent, along with a very strong number of the officials also who are accompanying the entire contingent this time. Take us through the entire composition of the Indians who would be representing the country for that glorious event, Narayan.
Largest contingent India has ever fielded in the Olympics. Last time the number was 121, and this time around it's 117, despite of the fact that women's hockey team is now there. Otherwise, it would have been crossed the 130 mark. But all in all, we can say that our athletes are capable to win, to break the record of the Tokyo Olympics, where their record was the best of the winning 7 medals. And right now, we are just behind me is the athlete village where athletes are staying. So here also we can see the officials are also there, but there is a limitation how many athletes, how many officials can be there, how many accredited athletes officials can stay here. Because of that, the Sports Authority of India and the Sports Ministry has funded the remaining support staff outside the village so that they can help our athletes anytime. If you talk about the ratio of the athletes versus support staff, right now it's 1 versus 1. So this shows that how much we can say that effort our government is putting so that our athletes don't face any problems. And beside that, us expert of 13 medical experts are there to help our players 24/7. And we know that what kind of practice our players have done. They were outside India training. Few players are training in Germany, few in Sweden, some are in Switzerland. So a foreign exposure is also there. And this time when I talk to athletes, they are saying that they are totally ready and fully fit to take part in this Olympics. And we are hoping that the kind of preparation, the hard work is done by our athletes. Definitely this time they will set new records at this edition of the Olympic Games in Paris.
All right. Thank you so much, Narayan, for joining us and bringing us the latest straight from Paris. And in a few hours from now, the Olympic ceremony will begin. Going back to Mr. Malay Nirav, sir, when we talk about government support here, the kind of funding we've seen across the years, the kind of foreign funding that the government has helped the athletes with, and now also this is a new benchmark when we talk about the 1:1 ratio of players is to support staff who would be accompanying and who are accompanying rather the entire contingent at the Paris Olympics, despite knowing the financial constraint, the kind of funding that we've been having that's really improved over the years. What do you have to say about the entire support of the government for the athletes every time for any edition of Olympics?
I've never seen this kind of a support coming from the government before. As I told you, I've been covering Olympics since 1992. And I take great pride in saying that today the 470 crores which are being spent on these flag bearers of India at the Olympics, this is a record amount of money. And there are two important things here. First, that when our athletes go outside India, and then they train there with the best possible trainers, and they rub their shoulders with the best in their fields, the kind of exposure that they get, acclimatization that they have is what is needed if you want to reach the medal podium. That is number one. Number two, the support staff. Let me give you one example. This example is from the Indian hockey team. We all keep saying, and we all keep hearing, that the Indian hockey team at the last moment does something wrong, is not able to defend, it's not able to convert the opportunity into the goal because of the mindset, because of the psyche, because of the psychological pressure. You know who is there for their mental fitness, for keeping them headstrong? Paddy Upton, the same fellow who was the Indian cricket in the trainer for the Indian cricket team in 1911 when they won the World Cup. So this is the kind of emphasis that you see being given to the Olympic sports by the government, and they have taken it as a serious business. It's not only top scheme and other things, it's not only wishy-washy, a few things here, a few things there. They pick up. Mirabai Chanu would not have won that silver medal, and nor would she have competed in this Olympics had she not been treated by the world's best doctors, had she not been given the best coaches. Neeraj Chopra has the best coaches being made available just because, and he was training in Germany and several other places. So where is the money coming from? The government. The government recognizes, identifies the talent, supports it at every step, and this is remarkable.
Indeed. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective along with a comprehensive analysis of how the government is extending their support to the entire Indian contingent. And this is a very interesting fact that the 2011 World Cup winning team's trainer is there accompanying the entire contingent at the Paris Olympics as well. Shows the kind of support and the intention the government has for the entire contingent.